Why, hello there, Mavericks. I didn't know you'd be here today. I'm super excited that you are here today for this reading mini lesson. Woohoo! All right, today we are going to be talking about how authors have a special way of writing. And so we're going to be exploring and studying some authors to see what's special, how do they write that's special? All right, so let's go ahead and get out our bow and arrow for our learning target today. Here it is. It's I can describe an author's style and compare it to a different author. Bill, excellent. So the author we're going to be taking a deep dive with, pardon the pun, is Nicola Davies. And we actually have a very special guest today reading us our book, Big Blue Whale. Can you guess who it is? It's Nicola Davies. So very exciting. Sit back and relax. And I want you to start to notice what are special things that make Nicola Davies an author? What are some characteristics of her books? All right, let's see if we can figure it out. Here we go.
This June, and it's all about the biggest animal on the planet, big blue whale. And I wrote it partly because I love everything that lives in the sea, even jellyfish, as long as they don't sting me, but because I was a part of a study of blue whales in the wild. So I've been right next to them in small boats, and you can know all the statistics about how big a blue whale is, but until you're right next to one that very nearly smashes its tail down on the front of your 40-foot boat, you don't really understand how big they are. They are absolutely enormous. And I got very, very good at scooping bright pink, very heavy, very smelly blue whale poos out of the water. Anyway, so this is the story behind this book. It's called Big Blue Whale, and it's got fantastic illustrations by Nick Mayland. He did such a wonderful job with this book. Okay, so here we go. The blue whale is big. Bigger than a giraffe, bigger than an elephant, bigger than a dinosaur. The blue whale is the biggest creature that has ever lived on Earth. You can see in this picture there are two little kids down the bottom, and you can see how enormous that blue whale tail is in relation to this elephant and this giraffe. And now look. Reach out and touch the blue whale's skin. It's springy and smooth, like a hard-boiled egg, and as slippery as wet soap. Look into its eye. It's as big as a teacup and as dark as the deep sea. Just behind the eye is a hole, small as the end of a pencil. The hole is one of the blue whale's ears. Sticking out ears would get in the way when the whale is swimming. The whale lives all of its long life in the sea, but it is a mammal like us, and it breathes air, not water. From time to time, it has to come up to the surface to breathe through the blowholes in the top of its head. Now you can actually see, you see the blowholes there? When it breathes out, it makes a great misty puff as high as a house. This is the whale's blow, and you can see it from far away. You can hear it too, a great puff. And if you're close enough, you can smell it, as the whale's breath is stale and fishy. And of course, that blow is how you find whales when you're out in the ocean and you're scanning the flat surface of the sea, or sometimes the very, very choppy surface of the sea. And what you're looking for is that big, misty puff of a blow, because you can see it from a really long way away. Take a look inside its mouth. Don't worry, blue whale doesn't have any teeth. It has hundreds of baleen plates instead. They're long, bristly things. hanging down from its top jaw. The whale doesn't need teeth for biting or chewing because its food is tiny. You can see those bristly baleen plates. And actually, they're made out of something very like your fingernails. So if you kind of imagine a very, very long, very, 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 very long, thick, dark, horrible old fingernail, pointy and frayed at the edge, you're kind of halfway to imagining what a baleen plate is like. This is what they do. The blue whale eats krill, pale, pinkish, shrimp-like creatures the size of your finger. Billions of them live in the cold seas around the North and South Poles. In summer, there can be so many that the water looks pink. So in summer, blue whales come to the polar seas to eat. It takes an awful lot of tiny krill to feed a great big whale. But the whale doesn't catch them one at a time. It has a special way of swallowing whole shoals of them at once. This is where the baleen comes in. Okay. First, it takes a huge gulp of krill and salty water. There's room for all this because the whale's throat unfolds and opens out like a vast balloon. Then it uses its big tongue to push the water out between those bristly baleen plates. The water streams away and leaves the krill caught on the bristles like peas in a sieve. Now all the whale has to do is lick them off and swallow them. And now you can see its throat ballooning out and unfolding, all those lines that you see on a blue whale's throat.
All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed part of that book, The Big Blue Whale. So what can you say about the way that Nicola Davies writes? What are some things that you observed about the way she writes? Oh, I agree. She writes with lots of details. If you were thinking the same thing, go ahead and make a connection just like this. She does write with lots of details. Did you also notice that she describes things by comparing them to other things? Oh, I noticed the same thing. That really helped paint a picture in my head when she was able to compare them. And oh, her writing sounds like a poem. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful way of writing. So if you were to compare Nicola Davies to Mo Willems, we decided all of those things that we talked about on the last slide about Nicola Davies. But if you compare him to having a special way of writing with Mo Willems, you might notice that he actually writes in short, simple sentences. He writes what the character says, and his writing sounds like real people talking, unlike Nicola Davies. So it's fun to compare the different styles of authors. Well, now it's your turn. It's your turn. What I want you to do is I want you to choose a book, and then I want you to make an observation about something you notice, about how an author writes. Did you notice something distinctive or special about their writing? It might sound something like this. I noticed that. I noticed that. Alrighty, friends, I can't wait to read and listen to your books today. Good luck and happy reading.